That's what I love about me. Okay. Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Could you introduce yourself for me? Tell me who you are and what you do.
All right, my name is Lester Holmes, and I'm the proud owner of Pull Magazine.
Pull Magazine. Okay. So who is Lester Holmes?
Well, Lester Holmes is a kid who grew up in the West End of Pittsburgh. Went to Perry Traditional Academy. Go Commodores. Went to Wilberforce University. I'm a big proponent of HBCUs. Worked in Ohio for a little bit. Came back to Pittsburgh for a few years. Worked for Allegheny County under the Key Service Corps, AmeriCorps program. I was one of the program managers there. Then I had a job opportunity in Michigan. I went to Michigan, and now I'm in Cleveland.
What are you, a Steelers fan or a Browns fan?
I will forever be a Steelers fan.
Okay, right answer. So you say you have Pull Magazine. What is it? What type of magazine is it?
Pull Magazine, well, started out as a blog. I was working for the Associated Newspapers of Michigan, and half the staff got cut, and unfortunately I was one of the folks who got laid off. So what started, my idea was I wanted to start a blog just to keep my skills fresh. And from that blog, which started about 3 years ago, it has grown so much to the point where it became an online magazine. Now we come out with a monthly print edition of the magazine. And Pull is basically a publication for what I call emerging leaders, the place where emerging leaders meet. Our coverage, in addition to covering the news topics of the day, we also feature emerging leaders in philanthropy, business, culture, society, politics. Those folks you may not know their name yet, but you will know their name in the future. So we want to be the people to introduce you to.
So your goal is to be a national magazine?
Correct.
So you say you started as a blog. Now you're in technology. You say you went to Wilberforce. What was your major in when you were in?
Mass media communications and music was my minor.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. That's great. So you say you wanted to be a national magazine. With technology the way that it is today, where do you see it in the next 5 years?
Next 5 years, I see us being a whole communication conglomerate, doing web series, using the internet for those type of things, growing the magazine, growing the print publication, of course growing our website, even helping other people produce blogs. So I see Pull as a conduit to get our message out in our communities.
Okay, you're an entrepreneur now. So what advice would you have to somebody interested in starting a business?
It's easy doing things that you love to do. So if you make what you love to do your business, you'll never think about it as work. I don't think of Pull as work, even though we work very hard at it. I think of it me pursuing my passion, perfecting my passion.
Mm-hmm. Well, how do you help others and pull others up as you're going along?
Very, very good stories with this. There was a young lady who started working for us, was interested in being a journalist, and never really had that much experience. And now she's a few months away from receiving her master's in journalism. So Pull gives you an opportunity to train. We'll work with you. We'll help you get where you want to go. I'm proud to say that we have a few people that have published books since they've worked with Pull. We do also help with that, editing books and whatnot. We have another young lady now who's doing a lot of technology blogs in Pittsburgh, actually. So, and she used her experience with Pull to land several other positions. So that's how we're helping the community. If you believe you have talent to write, we can bring you on. We can hone that talent, and we can help you get other opportunities.
Let me stop. He's talking about Shamir.
Oh, okay. Shamir, she is something else. She is.
So,
that's my.
So,
yeah, she just got a gig with WQED.
Shamir did.
We're writing for the website.
Well, I didn't know that. I don't know if it's something that she.
I didn't know. Maybe.
No, I mean, I won't. I mean, she usually says that what she got going on.
And I know I saw Shamir Tuesday, and that's what I was telling her because one of the, I told you I'm going to be doing some stuff with Bill. And Shamir is doing some stuff, and I'm saying, Shamir, how come you're not telling people? I said, girl, I'm your PR person. You about to blow up and change. Because it's like she did some stuff for Google that was Google.
She's been with us since the beginning, almost. So And I remember her from high school. So a lot of my connections either went to high school with or college with, or they knew someone. They knew someone that I went to school with. So I kind of have some sort of personal connection somehow, and there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes knowing a person, knowing how I work, knowing how they work, it behooves your whole entire business.
So you said one thing that I think is very important. You're using people that you know. Are you big on networking?
Yes, networking is very important. You have to pull people together. You have to pull people with common interests and goals together. So networking is very important.
How many staff people do you have?
We are at about 14 right now. Now when we say that, the thing is we don't want to burn anyone out. So you may write 1 month, you may take 2 months off, you may come back 1 month. So it's a way that no one is doing steady everything. So it's kind of structured itself so no one's burned out. Of course, we all have different things going on. Many of us still have full-time jobs. Many of us in school, getting masters. Have one person get a PhD. So I can't stress them out. So you have to, set it up and structure it in a way so you can get the best out of everyone.
What type of professional legacy would you like to leave?
Professional legacy I would like to leave. I would like Pull Magazine to be known as the place where you read about them first. As I said, we focus on emerging leaders. The next person who's going to be that great congressman to pass some legislation that's really going to do a lot of great things for the community. Or that doctor on their way who may figure out a way to cure a certain form of cancer. I want Pull to be the magazine that introduces the masses to that person.
So when you interview people, you're interviewing people in many states, or are you focusing on a certain area?
We interview people from all over the country. In fact, the issue that's coming out next week, we're focusing on diaspora. So I've talked to folks from Kenya for this upcoming issue. We interview people all over the globe.
So what was the hardest part for you when you started, what was the hardest for you to get started?
Well, we started in phases. The blog was a step, and then from the blog, doing the online magazine was another step. We had an internet radio show that was another step, and then this final step is I won't say hard because, but it brings an interesting set of challenges. Meeting deadlines, editing, those type of things, and still balancing your full-time job and your other obligations, and having a staff having to balance children, jobs, whatever, fraternity, sorority obligations, all those type of things.
As an entrepreneur, who are your biggest influences?
My biggest influences as an entrepreneur, I should say there's people that I respect as entrepreneurs. I don't know if I would say there's an influence or anything like that. It's just I have this vision in my mind. I'm just going to go for it.
As an entrepreneur, what is your hopes and dreams for the community and the businesses that you represent?
Well, the community, I want them to be inspired by Pull. I want that kid who grows up in the West End, grows up in the North Side, grows up in the Hill District, to read about a person that grew up in a similar circumstance and say, hey, I can do the same things if I apply myself. So that's the main thing I want to do for the community is inspire, giving the community an opportunity to hear about news they may not hear about from anywhere else. Scriptures say our people perish for a lack of knowledge. Pull wants to be a producer of knowledge to help educate and inform people so they can make intelligent and cognizant decisions about what goes on around them.
When you decided to start your business, how did you fund your business?
My savings account, basically. I just pulled some money aside. I knew this was something I wanted to do, and just started from there. I didn't want to get in a position where a lot of media is controlled. And I didn't want to get in a position where I had to have my voice stymied because I'm worried about losing funds from someone. So a combination of my personal funding, a combination of crowdfunding, combination of selling advertising to other friends and colleagues who have businesses to support, even donations. That's how primarily we're funding Pull right now. But we can always take more donations.
Absolutely. If you had the opportunity to interview anybody in the world, dead or alive, who would it be?
anybody in the world that are alive, who would it be? That's an excellent question. I say alive. Of course, everybody wants to talk to Barack Obama. That's fine. I mean, he's the president of the United States, so that'd be a nice person to talk to. I would say dead. I would be very interested to talk to Malcolm and Martin to see what they think about the state of Black America in 2013 going into 2014. I would also like to sit down and talk to Garvey, Du Bois, and Washington, Booker T. Washington, just to see what they would think as well. So I think that would be a very interesting interview, conversation.
Mm-hmm. Now, you're an entrepreneur that does a magazine. What was the most influential book you have read and why?
I'm going to say Things Fall Apart. And the reason, it's a different type of reason why. I always knew I had the ability to read. It was just something I never really liked to do. And about 9th or 10th grade, I had the opportunity to read that book, and that kind of spurred my interest in reading. So from that point on, I realized I enjoyed reading.
Okay. Could you say a few words about Bernard Alexander?
This on camera? Oh boy. Bernard is a hard-working person. I will say that, and he's willing to help anyone if you're willing to meet him halfway. That's been my experience. He comes through. If the project's going to be done at 9 o'clock, he'll have it turned in by 8:59. Vern is someone that I would definitely rely on to pick his ear, pick his mind about some business opportunities and things of that nature. Definitely a person I will talk to. So.
Okay, Mr. Holmes, thank you very much for your time and good luck with the magazine.
I appreciate it. Thank you. Ain't no phone when the rabbit got the